Now, in 1989, Howard Gardner made a pertinent observation in relation to the Chinese education project he'd been engaged to carry out. He noted that well-meaning efforts to produce change may fail because they are based on superficial understandings. For instance, how to sustain a playful atmosphere. Likewise, the Chinese take-up of creativity in policy circles often appears to lack the kind of grounding we see in the West. A Chinese student said to me one day, and this has been said to me a couple of times actually, that the Chinese people lack the cultural DNA to understand creativity. And in this respect, the West has a significant advantage. It's in our DNA. It's an interesting idea. Can China evolve? What would it take for China to make a significant creative transformation? Can policy drive such change, or is it a deeper problem, something to do with Confucian social conditioning to conformity and hierarchy, propensity to follow models, fear of radical change, of being different, a suspicion of dissenting views? A recent book by Li Wei says China can, and perhaps already is transforming. Entitled Creativity is Changing China, the book offers various descriptions for progress supported by case studies of Chinese success stories. However, time will tell if the anticipation is up to expectations. Local governments have, I'm going to just flip through a few slides I missed there. Patterns of the past. I forgot that slide. Again, the patterns of the past. Creative interpretations. The word for creativity, 创意. This is 创意大连. All these places around China, you have 创意大连, you have 创意青岛. You have all these places, everywhere you go. Now, local governments have willingly subscribed to the idea. Businesses are enthusiastic and artists are happy to get more autonomy. President Hu Jintao has given his conditional sanction to the idea. Using the term creativity in his closing address to the 17th National Congress of the Chinese Communist Party of China in October 2007, although the translation he used then was 创造力 rather than 创意, so he used the older definition. Now, Li Wei, himself a leading official in the reform of China's economy, he is the Vice Director of the National People's Consulate of Congress, NCCP, whatever. He comes from Shanghai. That's interesting too. He offers what might be described as an unorthodox prescription for change, at least in relation to the Ministry of Cultural Orthodoxy. It's a prescription in which creative communities displace the highly structured and rigid stratification of power in Chinese society. For example, the work unit, the neighbourhood. The term creative communities points to relatively autonomous groupings of individuals, artists, writers, designers, filmmakers, etc., building networks with individuals in related occupations such as media management, real estate, consultancy, and urban planning. By ceding power to creative communities, this process may to some extent bypass the top-down plan development model generally associated with the socialist project. Now, looking at the frenzied development in Chinese cities, one could almost be excused for thinking that this is already the case. The key point is that expediency has taken centre stage. The planned cultural model remains intact, but its rigidity and its association with political dogma has resulted in the take-up of the more international idea, the super sign of creativity. Thank you very much. And by the way, my book is now out.